I had no idea what HPV was.
I had no idea it was the human papillomavirus.
I had no idea that HPV was a sexually transmitted infection.
I had no idea that HPV was the most common STI in the United States.
I had no idea that in 2018, 43 million people were affected by HPV.
I had no idea that the highest prevalence of HPV is among adolescents and young adults between 15 and 25.
I had no idea that I would be among that group affected too.
I had no idea that HPV could affect different parts of my body.
I had no idea that it could spread through vaginal, oral, and anal sex with someone who has the virus.
I had no idea that it could spread through skin-to-skin contact.
I had no idea that a one-night stand can change my life.
I had no idea that my girlfriend had HPV.
I had no idea that over 100 strains of HPV could cause warts on my face, hands, and feet.
I had no idea that more than 30 strains of HPV could affect my genitals.
I had no idea that there were 14 high-risk HPV strains.
I had no idea that the HPV 16 and 18 strains can lead to 70% of cervical cancers.
I had no idea that it could lead to cervical cancer.
I had no idea I was infected. I never had any symptoms.
I had no idea. I had no symptoms and I was infected.
I had no idea that HPV affects men too.
I had no idea that I would find out through a simple pap smear test.
I had no idea that over 47,000 HPV cancer cases happened between 2015 to 2019.
I had no idea that HPV was responsible for 90% of cervical cancers.
I had no idea that 60% of penile cancers came from HPV.
I had no idea 70% of vaginal and vulvar cases came from HPV.
I had no idea that I could get oropharyngeal cancer just from oral sex.
I had no idea that HPV can go away on its own within 2 years without any health problems.
I had no idea that when HPV doesn't go away, it can cause serious problems with my health and give me genital warts and cancer.
I had no idea that over 4,000 women die from cervical cancers each year.
I had no idea that over 93 of these cancers could have been prevented just by screening.
I had no idea that 93% of these cancers could have been prevented by being vaccinated.
I had no idea there was a vaccine against HPV.
I had no idea it was a vaccine.
I had no idea that girls and boys could be vaccinated as early as 11 or 12 years old, or even at the age of 9.
I had no idea you could still get vaccinated between the ages of 26 to 45.
I had no idea what Gardasil 9 was.
I had no idea what Gardasil 9 was.
I had no idea that Gardasil 9 was an HPV vaccine.
I had no idea that Gardasil 9 could protect me from 9 HPV strains.
I had no idea that I could still get the vaccine even after having sex.
I had no idea I could have prevented this from happening.
I had no idea HPV could change my life.
I had no idea.